Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, for some people this might be a long, drawn out process, but I'm trying to cover all aspects of installing a 34-inch corner shower and trying to prevent any water damage from use. So if you're interested, fine. If you're not, well, you can skip forward. So try to skip forward if you get bored. And some of you will get bored. Okay? Thanks for watching. If you should watch it. My next project here is to install a shower in my my daughter's little office here. She likes to go out and go ahead and ride her bike. Also jog a little bit, and when she gets back to her office to wait on patients, she gets a little sweaty, so she asked me to put in a little shower. This is the toilet and a sink that I've already installed. Put a little mirror, and there's me in the mirror, okay? So I've already cut out the wall over here and installed the plumbing for hot and cold water, of which now I have to go ahead and put the shower connection in here, which I'm waiting to make sure I don't have any leaks in that unit or that unit. Okay, then I will install. Okay, I'm back. I've been out a little while. I let the pressure on the line set, so I came back to check to see if it wasn't leaking or was leaking. So now that they're not leaking, I'll show you a little work I've done so that I got my shower head line installed. So I'll show you what that looks like. Now, what I've done, that tubing there is just a brace. Because what I did is I put a 2x4 behind there with a little clamp to hold it in place, and then I've got a liquid nail in there behind the 2x4 to hold it to the inside wall there. The rest of the line, which I have mounted and soldered, I got a couple of 2x4s right here and here just to hold that in place until the liquid nail dries. So I'll be back tomorrow to remove my little braces. So everything's looking cool. So my next project would be to put the wall back together, make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay. Now I'm going to remove my little screwdriver and braces out of here. Okay. That was just a brace for the unit. So I'll put that down. And then we'll go up here, and I'm going to remove this brace. Just a brace. There we are. And then take this one out also. And seeing that I only have two hands, so I'm going to put these down. Okay, now, how did that liquid nail hold out? Wow. That sure did the job. And then I'm checking for see if there's any leaks, because if there's a leak, I may have to do something else. And I filled this up with water last night, so still should be full, so I'm going to check. There's no water in there. Uh-oh. Which means I might have a leak on here. Okay, it doesn't seem like there is a leak. Alright, I'm going to check a little further, and hopefully I don't have any leaks. And so, till next time, bye. Okay, I'm back for another day's activities on putting this shower in. And as you can probably see, my daughter bought this because I do so much work for her. She thought I'd start my own business, like, you know. So here I am. So anyways, I did a little extra before filming this. I put the wall insulation back in because after a few days I don't detect any leaks, so I feel confident I can reinstall my wall in there, okay? So what I gotta do, I put the bottom part back on. You know, you gotta make sure it's smooth, because when you put the walls in, you glue the walls to there. If it's got any bumps or anything on it, it'll show through those little tiny skinny walls that they make. Now this unit is a drain. This is a drain, and I'm going to move that over into the corner. And I'll probably do that today. But I got to put my wall back in here, and I already took some measurements to drill a hole there for that. So I got some measurements there, and I'll drill that hole and then attach it to the wall here and mud it back. Got the wall back in there, and these braces that I have there are to hold the wall in place, and that hook is just to brace it, because I've got these through the wall there to hold that while it holds the wall to the piece of sheetrock I put behind there and used. I'm using the liquid nail to hold the wall there, and then I used plaster back there to hold the rest of the wall in. I've done the same down here to hold the wall, this part of the wall, to the liquid nail. And now I've sort of did a little mud work here, and now I gotta let it dry. So in the meantime, I'm going to get the rest of the shower to install. Okay, I'm back, and if you hear whistling in the background, it's not me. Okay, or laughing. Okay? So I goofed here, and I have to make a confession, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes, you know. Maybe it'll save you a mistake. I kind of didn't take into consideration in my measurements that there is a base to this shower installation. So needless to say, I made a boo-boo and didn't compensate for the base and put the shower curtain or shower nozzle too low. So I had to cut away a portion, renovate my connections, and move my shower head up. And I did a little innovating and made it a little bit up to the left rather than at wall height, 72 inches. So it's a much better setup. Just finished that up. And also, I told you about the vent I had to move, so I moved it from the center there over into the corner, and I tapped off the drain connection here, and now you have Mr. Happy Face in there. So anytime someone comes into the shower, they've got a happy face. My next project will be to lay the floor, the base, which you need a shower base here. I'm going to just slap that down here. So, just to show you what's going on here. Okay. Now when you get the base, you got to make sure it's lined up pretty neat, or pretty square. And I had to trim the edges here to get it to set against the wall. And also on the other side, so it sits nice and tight against the wall here. Okay, so now I already got the drain almost set up, but I've got to drill a hole and make my drain 5 inches round, and then I'll be ready to put the flooring in and tape it down. But I have to cut away the rug, put down some insulation, waterproof, and cement the base in. Okay, I've got the base pretty well trimmed up here, as you can see, and it's against the wall. And that isn't too bad. They say 1/8 of an inch is good. So, now, all I have to do is trim the carpet up here. And, because I'm going to pull the carpet up. Okay? I am going to use my handy dandy little
Zacto.
And I'm just going to follow the outline here. And I'm going to go like this. All the way around. And then, put this in. And hopefully, like that. Let's hope my blade was sharp enough. Okay. Now I'll set that down here. I'm going to lift this up. This is the base. Okay. Alright. And I'm going to put this out a little bit here. And then I'm going to try to pull this carpet up, which I doubt I'm going to be able to do. So I got to trim it there and there. Okay? Okay, I did a little cutting. And maybe I can get this all up now. How's that, huh? Like that. And like this. How's that, huh? How do you think we did that? That looks pretty good, huh? Alright. Now, just hang on here a second. I'll have to try this out like this. Put this in. This will be on the floor. Nice and tight there. How's that looking, huh? I think that looks pretty good, huh? I mean, wow, look at there. So far, so good. Maybe little space here between the wall. And when I bolt it in there, screw it in, it should be alright. But now I got to make my hole in the floor, okay, for the drain. Alright. Okay, now you can see I put a waterproof base which complies with the International Plumbing Code. And the reason for this is just in case something leaks, it doesn't rot the floor. So I did a precautionary thing by putting in the waterproof mat, okay? Okay, here I am under the crawl space here, and this is what it looks like now. I've moved the vent over into that position, and this is the drain that it's connected to, as you can see. Alright, maybe I'm a little fortunate that I have a crawl space to work with. So I put in my drain there that leads it along here and down into the major drain, which goes to the drain works, as you can see. Okay, so much for that. Okay, looks pretty good. And we'll put the drain in. Okay, you can see I put my drain in, and I'm ready to lay my base down. It says to glue the base down to the floor in several spots. So I've already got a rubber sealer down there, so I can't glue it. So I'm just going to cut a couple of holes in and put some liquid nail down in there in several places. Well, just 3 or 4 places, okay? Here's one. Cut that out. And this is just to hold the base in place. Cut that out. And then I'll fill the holes with liquid nail, just to cover up that area there, enough to overflow it. And if it does leak, then it shouldn't go through the floor. Then I'm ready to lay it down. There we are with the liquid nails. I just folded, just filled it in a little bit, so if it gets a grip, it'll stabilize it, okay? And now I've laid the floor down, the base, and now I marked a couple of places in the studs where I'm going to nail it. I'm going to use screws because all I need to do is keep it in position. So hang in there. Okay, I'm just going to take my drill. Already drilled the holes. I'm going to put this screw in here. Hopefully it'll go. I don't want to put it too hard, because if it does, see, now that's sticking out a little bit, and I really don't want it to do that, so I may have to make a bigger hole to take the head in. Now I think the base, the wall, when it covers that up, it should be okay, because the wall is not going to hit against that. So there's a little space left in there. So now the base is secure to the floor. And hopefully my my liquid nails is going to hold that in place too. But it seems like that the screws into the studs will hold the base in position. Okay? Alright. Now my next trick is to put the seal around the base here, the drain. And they said to lube it, so I'm going to lube it. This is a little silicone lubricant around here. I say do it on here. And then put that down in there. Maybe you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. And then when I got that settled down, you got to put silicone around it. And that's coming. Okay, now I got that rubber sealant around there, down as far as it'll go. Of course, I'll force it right through. But now I'll fill it up with silicone to the edge. Okay? Hang in there. Now when working around and using silicone to do this, make sure you use the mold-free product, silicone, premium waterproof silicone. Because if you don't use plumber's putty, because it will deteriorate the plastic over time and it deteriorates itself. So when you're doing something like this, make sure you use the waterproof silicone. And then I'm going to fill this in to the top of the ridge. Just fill it up with silicone to the edge there and let that dry. Then you got a pretty good drain with no leaks. Alright. Okay, I'm back. Now, I did a little cheating while you were gone. You were gone or I was gone. But I'll show you what I've done so far. I showed you how the floor went in and everything, and I put a little glue down there to hold it in place. And so while you were away, I went ahead and put in some bracing for holding the walls in place. They recommend that you put a board up here about an 1/8 inch down, use the molly anchors or whatever, and that will hold the top of the walls. Now, my daughter said, well, why don't you paint it? So, hey, I add a little color to it, you know. So, while I was waiting for this stuff to dry, I went ahead and painted just those 3 walls. But in the meantime also, part of the wall is recessed. This part glues on, but then there's a bump here, and if you push against the wall, then that will collapse. So I trimmed up some styrofoam strip here and glued it on there just to give it a little support on that side and also on that side, as you can see. So a little backing for the styrofoam to back up the wall, you know. So just glue it in there in place. Okay, now I'll go ahead and slip the walls on to show you how things look here. If I can, I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'll bring in the walls here and slip them into place here. You notice I drilled the holes for the water faucets. And then the other wall. See, that would collapse. This glue's against the wall. I gotta put the glue on there and on there. And then this would have collapsed if you lean up against it. Or this side here, this would have collapsed too, but I put some styrofoam in there to support it. Just in case somebody bumps against it. So this back side here will all be glued to the wall. I'll be showing you that later. So, and then when I put these together, screw them together, then I'll caulk there and on the bottom, and voila, we're done there. Okay, so that brings you up to date for now. Okay, I'm back again. I don't know if you had noticed, I got a haircut, I changed my t-shirt, so been pretty busy. Now, I'm about ready to put the walls on, but I want to show you something here that if you put the wall on and you follow their instructions by putting the 1 by 3 by 32 inches, when you put the wall on, when you go to mount the rack for the curtain, which is this unit here, and you're gonna screw it in there, you'll notice that this will collapse in and that'll bulge out. Okay, can you see that? So that'll bulge out. So what I'm doing is I've taken a little piece of cardboard, just a little piece of cardboard, okay, and just put it on the end here where that is going to mount. Hang on, I have to rearrange something here. So I just put some glue on there to hold it in place, just like that. Hopefully it'll stay here for a minute. Okay, press on it. There. That should stay a while. Okay. And then I took another piece to this other side to give it a brace so that the thing don't bulge on you. Okay? Hope you can see that. I just put a little piece of glue behind there, and hopefully I got enough to hold that in place till I put the wall on. Maybe it'll stay, maybe it won't, who knows. Okay? So that's for now, and maybe I'll get a couple more things to do and then I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay. Now it's time to put the walls together. So when you put the walls together, it says to caulk these centers here on both sides, and then you screw them together. And when you do this, make sure you use silicone premium waterproof. The guy at the store at Home Depot was selling me an outdoor, but this here is for bath, shower, windows, whatever, okay? So make sure you get the right stuff. Waterproof. So I'm going to put caulking I want to put it around here too, because I want a complete seal, even around the bolts. Now we put it together with the bolts. Hopefully it'll work the way it's supposed to. And hopefully the holes will line up. Not a bolt with a washer, slip it through, put a washer on, and the nut. Now go ahead and put this together, finish it up, and then I'm going to drill another hole through here. I'll show you that in a little bit, okay? So let me finish this part up first. Okay, I was advised by someone else on the internet, thanks to that guy, to put an extra bolt in here because there's such a good distance between there, and just for leaking prevention, I went ahead and put another bolt in here. I'll make sure you tighten them down a little bit. So now my wall is assembled and ready to go. I'm going to put adhesive on the walls now to glue the wall to. Make sure you use heavy duty liquid nails. I should have got a bucket, but I didn't see any buckets, and I don't need a 5-pound bucket, so I just got three of these, and hopefully it'll fill up the void. So I'm going to cut a big hole here. And then I'm going to spread it around on there, and then I'm going to trowel it on like it says. So you know what I got to do? I got to puncture the thing. And then I happen to have this thing, coat hanger. I think I made enough holes in there. Alright, let's hope it comes through now. Yep. Gonna be slow going. So I think you get the idea on how to do it. I gotta do it all on both sides here. So I'll let you see when I'm done and ready to put the wall on. Alright, bad news for you. When I was applying the liquid nails to this thing, well, it seems like I was misinformed by the guy at Home Depot. This thing won't dry or come to start to dry until 40 minutes. Well, as I'm applying it, it started to dry pretty quick. I should have read the instructions, which I haven't read yet. However, I had to go ahead and work very fast to get the walls up while the glue was still a little bit workable. So therefore I went ahead and I put the walls on, as you can see, and glued them and did a little caulking. Okay? But you really have to really work fast with that glue. So I would research the type of glue you should use, because you don't want it drying before you put the wall on. Duh. So I went ahead and worked it, and you have to keep on pressing on the walls, pressing and pressing and pressing and all that stuff to try to get it to stick, which I worked it out. So I put some caulk on it. Now I'm going to wait till it dries. So I'm going to take a break, and I'll continue this later. I got to put up the ring and do a little more caulking. So I'm kind of beat right now, so I will continue this later. Till then, oh, no mirror. Okay, a little review here. When you're going to do a project like this, don't be in a hurry, okay? Because so many things can go wrong. I mean, like I put the plumbing in the wrong place. I had to move it up there, redo a job. And then my plumbing for the handles on off, I used this type of system. I didn't take a measurement from the center over to there, so needless to say, you got this too far over here, which ran into this crevice here, okay? So I would have had to cut that. But fortunately, using your head, whenever you can, I found a smaller ring to fit over that, because if I used the same size as this, I would have had to cut out this corner or chop off that. So I went to a place that had a lot of stuff, and I found one of them, luckily. So make sure you think ahead on this, alright? And then for up here, I'm going to put the head on now for the shower. And then make sure that you use plumber's tape on both ends here. I got a little more extra here. That make sure you use, don't be afraid to use several wrappings on the, for leaks, okay? You don't want it leaking or dripping. So I'll put this on. I'll tighten it down in a minute. And then I'll put the handle on here. It fits pretty good with my little small unit here. See? Looks pretty good. Screw that on. And we're in business. I don't want to turn it on yet, because I got it aimed over there. I should be in the shower there. Alright. Now my brother in Minnesota, his father-in-law, has a sand pit. Okay, a gravel pit. And he gave me a t-shirt. I don't know if you can read it, but that's his thing. I thought it was pretty funny. Anyways, we'll continue this in a moment till I get the other thing set up, okay? Because then I will put on the curtain rod as per their instructions, okay? Once that's on, then ready to take a shower. Okay. I put the shower head on. Okay. Now, for the first time ever, I'm going to turn on the hot water. Just a little bit. I don't want to squirt no because I don't have the curtain rod on yet. So if I turn it on, hey, it works. Don't want to splash it too much. Okay, that's too hot. Let me try the cold. Is there any cold water? Voila! We got hot and cold. Okay, now I'm going to put the curtain rod on, okay? So, that's an easy thing. As per instructions, always follow instructions. Yeah, right. Alright. Okay, we're back. And I don't know if you can see, I pre-drilled the holes for the shower rack. And I assembled the rack according to instructions. Okay? Important instructions. Now, I'm ready to put the rack up. Hopefully my holes line up. I will take a screw, of course, and always follow the instructions. Now this one's on backwards, you see? So, I have to take it up. See, you can't be in a hurry on this because when you're in a hurry, you have a tendency to make mistakes. And who wants to make a mistake? Okay? So I have to take this off because I blew it again. It's a good thing I'm retired. And I have all this time to do whatever I do. So, in a second here, a short screw, and it's taken me all this time. So I have to turn that around, find the hole again, and you can see how fast I move. I really don't move fast. I just move half-assed. Not full fast. Come on. So I have to wait for me to do this. Am I doing it right? Did I put it back on right? Yeah. Okay. It's really a small screw. I should take my drill. Probably the longest sequence you've seen me do, huh? Alright, now I'm ready. So, take it like this. Let's take a screw here. That'll hold that in place, I hope. No. Oh no. They don't line up. Until you line them up. Now if I can reach down and get my drill, I thought I'd put it in a good position. Okay, this one over here, I'm just leaving a little bit loose so I can make sure that they line up, okay? And then I'll put the curtain on and give you a look at that, okay? So I'm pretty sure you understand what's going on right now, okay? Alright. Okay, this is more than likely my last video session on this project, because as you can see, I got the rack in, the curtain hanger here, pretty solid, looks pretty good. I put this curtain up because my daughter thinks about getting away at times, so I try to set the atmosphere for her, you know, to give her encouragement and work harder and go and enjoy life a little bit. So, with that said, I think it looks pretty good. And I know I did make a few mistakes. And just for a little review, I had put the water faucet, or the spout head, a little bit low because I didn't take into consideration the base. So I had to rechange that. Then, also installing the faucets, I put them in a little location that should have been a little more to the right because it interfered with this here lining up with this, because this part would run over that and I had to cut that out or something. So that's a mistake. And the thing is, try to think about things before you complete the project. You can't think of everything. I know I can't. I try, but I can't. And I cannot emphasize when installing a shower like this to make sure you do a lot of caulking, because you don't want to get water all over the place. And that should be about it. I put the tables back, did the restoration of the baseboard, you know, painted it a little bit for her to give a little atmosphere. So that's about it. I closed the curtain here a little bit and made sure the curtain was in there, and turned on the water, and as you can see, we got water. And being able to take a shower, turn it off here. So, no leaks over here as long as you keep the water behind the curtain, you're okay. But that's it. Let everything cure. She ought to be pretty proud of her little room here. Just a nice little... There I am in the mirror again, okay? So, until next time, enjoy life, okay? Bye. Okay, a little modification here. I found some splash guards, and what I'm going to do is I wanted to prevent further leakage. You know, when they take a shower, instructed in here that the water will come out here. See, so I'm gonna, okay, I cut them in half, one at the top and one at the bottom. So now I'm going to try to install it now, but I got to let it set. I put some JB weld to hold it together So, gonna let that dry. Okay, it might seem like a long project to you. Probably is, even to me. But I think I pretty well got the last of it done. So I'll just show you a peek here. Hopefully we got the leak or water system all figured out so that there's no leaks and all that stuff like that. Whoops. So coming over here, take a peek. I put both splash guards together. You might be able to see the seam where it comes together here. Okay, where is the seam? Right there. Okay, and then mount it in here, and like I say, I did a little caulking here. Oh, there it is. Okay, all the way down to the floor, a little caulking in the corner there. So when she closes the door, closes the curtain, if they just put the curtain on the inside there, like that, shouldn't have any splash, no water coming out on the wall or anything like that. So that pretty much takes care of it. Hope I'm getting the shot here. So all in all, I think might be ready to lock it up, and she's already moved in, as you can see, already used the shower. So looks okay to me. She said it works okay, drains good. So that's it. Alright.